To this story now, the Johannesburg Metro Police Department is urging motorists to plan their travels in advance this weekend. This is, of course, due to the rolling road closures as a result of the G20 Leaders Summit at the Nasrec Expo Centre south of Johannesburg. Now, several major routes will be affected. That's including the N1, N3, N12 and R24 highways, among others. Motorists advised to expect delays of up to an hour. Now, it's a few days to go to the South African Police Service conducted dry runs of how delegates will be escorted from their ports of arrival. There's a hive of activity around the Hull train station in Sandton, with dignitaries arriving and checking into various hotels. Law enforcement authorities and other private stakeholders are also on foot, monitoring the area to ensure safety. The G20 Leaders Summit will bring together heads of state from various countries to discuss economical, political and social initiatives. All right, now staying with the traffic in Johannesburg, we cross to SABC News reporter Puseletso Mokoena, who is at Nasrec for us. Good afternoon, Puseletso. How is the traffic looking just less than 24 hours to that all-important G20 Leaders Summit taking place there at the Nasrec Expo Centre?
Well, thank you so much, Mfundo. We're coming to you live from Nasrec, just near the Nasrec Expo Centre, whereby the G20 Leaders Summit is expected to take place this weekend. What I can tell you is that the total shutdown of the roads in this area that has been talked about by the JMPD has officially been implemented from today up until Sunday. We saw that there is a huge police visibility from the members of the SAPS and the members of the JMPD, making sure that they monitor traffic in this area. But talking about the JMPD in Fundo, with me right now, I have the spokesperson, Kolani Fihla, who's just going to tell us more about the monitoring of the roads in this area. Kolani, thank you so much for your time. Can you please talk to us about the level of the expected traffic this week?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and let me greet the viewers. We are expecting significant traffic disruptions, not only in the Nasrec area, but in the significant part of the greater Johannesburg and other various areas in Gauteng. That's including Tshwane and Ekurhuleni. But starting in Nasrec, as you did mention, that the full implementation of the lockdown has now started. Certain roads have been fully closed off, and others have been then converted into dual carriage. Speaking of Golden Highway, has been closed off from Monday from Rancho Road to Soweto Highway, and then Rancho Road is closed off on the northern portion between the N1 and Nasrec Road, and the southern portion has then been converted to dual carriage. On Nasrec Road, we've got a limited and soft closure that's from the N17 traffic circle to Shaft 17 Road, and of course then a full closure between Shaft 17 and Rancho Road. And then we are monitoring other areas within the city of Johannesburg. We know that there have been protest marches that have been happening, and with that there was one that happened earlier today with the MK Party marching from Pan Africa Mall in Alexandra to Metro Centre in Braamfontein to hand over a memorandum to the Premier's and the Mayor's office, and they did that successfully. But now we are getting reports that they have blocked off the M2 that's between the Crown interchange and the Nasrec Street Selby exit. So we have deployed officers to go check out, engage with them so that they can be dispersed, because it is causing significant traffic disruptions in that area. But we are also monitoring the roads which are affected by the arrivals of the heads of states. Currently, most affected routes is the R21 and R24 coming from OR Tambo and then joining the N3 towards the Buckley interchange and onto the M1 into Sandton.
And talking about the monitoring of other roads due to the arrivals of other leaders, are we going to? Do you have the time frames of when are they going to be opened?
A slight challenge is that they are arriving periodically and sporadically. So with the closures and the opening, we can't give you the exact times, but motorists can then just be aware that they could face close to 30 to 60-minute delays if if those roads have been blocked off. So just kindly be aware of that, and especially on the major national roads within Gauteng. That's the N14, the N1, R21, R24 and the M1.
And you talked about the protest action that is currently taking place in the M2, and you have dispatched a team of members to ensure that they monitor that protest. Let's talk about that.
Yes, we did receive earlier reports of the protest action. It is alleged that it's members of the MK party, but we're still waiting for further information. Currently, we're not too sure what would be the reason for them blocking off the road. It could be its solidarity towards the GPEF, but that will be confirmed at a later stage. But since the M2 is a critical route and it is a feeder route towards the M1, which is one of the routes for the G20, it is important that we do firstly engage with the protesters, ensure that they are removed from the roadway, but if there is some type of resistance, then the force proportional to that resistance has to be used.
And we also saw a statement from your department advising motorists to use other alternative routes. Let's talk about these routes that the motorists can use, especially coming in this area of Nasrec.
Definitely, and especially for the weekend of the summit, which is tomorrow and Sunday. We do know that routes that will be affected, the times it's between 7 and 10 in the morning and 5 and 8 in the evening. And then starting from Sandton, most specifically as Grayston Drive, which there'll be a full lockdown from 4 in the morning until 10. And then other routes such as Rivonia Road and Catherine Street. Then in the Melrose Arc area, then affected routes could be Melrose Boulevard, Ethel Oaklands Road and Whitley Road. But to avoid those roads in those areas, you can use Caller Drive, Marlborough Drive, Sandton Drive or 11th Avenue as well. Then in the Randburg area, it's in Parkview, in Rosebank and in Westcliff. The main affected routes in that area is Jan Smuts Avenue, Oxford Road and Glenhove Road. And then to avoid that, you can use routes that are parallel to Jan Smuts Avenue or Oxford Road as well. And then heading down to the south, then of course avoiding Nasrec Road and Rancho Road and Golden Highway. You can either use Chris Honey Road, Main Reef Road, Crownwood Road, the N17 and particularly the Soweto Highway, which is a major arterial that has been open. At least then the commuters using public transport can use that as well.
Thank you so much for your time, Kolani. Well, there we have it, Mfundo. That was the spokesperson for the JMPD, Kolani Fihla, essentially speaking about advising the motorists on which routes to take in order to travel smoothly this weekend. I'm sure that our viewers know which routes to take and which routes to avoid in order for their traveling to go smooth for this weekend of the G20 Leaders Summit.
All right, Puseletso, thank you very much for that reportage. That's SABC News reporter Puseletso Mokoena, just monitoring traffic around the Nasrec area. Of course, world leaders will descend on the Nasrec Expo Center in less than 24 hours for the official start of the G20 Leaders Summit. More news on the other side of this break. Do stay with us.
SABC, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2025.